Welcome to this new Logic Pro tutorial. In this video, I'm gonna show you my top 5 automation tricks on Logic Pro. I'm gonna show you how to make the automation and also give you a few ideas that you can try and explore. Let's get straight into it. The song I'm gonna be using for this tutorial is my remix of Doja Cat's Need to Know. I put the link in the description to listen to a full remix and also to watch the tutorial video if you wanted to. Let's get into my tip number 5, which is a volume automation. Usually volume automation works really well for your intro and your outro, so here that's what I'm going to do. The first thing I need to do is to select my stereo output, and I want to create the track. So right click and show output track, and as we can see we have it here. Then you can click on the letter A of your keyboard, and here you have the automation. So here I need to change the parameter to volume, and now we can create a fade out. So the volume is going to drop gradually, and you can just draw it like that. Let's hear it. So we have a nice fade out. You can also do volume automation on your instruments. For example, if you want to have your piano quieter on the verse. So same thing, I click on my piano track and I click on the letter A of my keyboard. And here I can make it quieter for the verse. Let's move on to tip number 5. I'm going to talk about pan automation, and basically you want to play with the left and the right side. I'm going to show you an example with the piano and with the riser as well. Same thing, I click on my piano track and on the letter A of my keyboard. And here I want to change it from volume to pan. I go on main and then I click on pan. Here you can do your pan automation. If you want a shortcut, you can hold-click Command and then just drag it down like that. So everything that's above this line, above the 0, is going to go on the left side, and everything that's below is going to go on the right side. Let's listen to it. That's pretty cool. Let's do it on the riser as well. This is my riser. Main, pan, exactly the same thing as before. As we can hear, it's slowly moving from the left to the right side, and it gives a pretty cool effect. Let's move on to tip number 3, which is going to be a distortion automation. I'm going to show you how to make a distortion automation, and as an example, I will do it on the bass and on the piano as well. The first thing I'm doing is to add a distortion on my bass. You can take any distortion, by the way, but I'm just going to use this one. I'm just going to put more gain. We have a big difference in terms of sound with and without the distortion. So what I want to do now is to click on this little arrow, and now we can play with the mix signal. So when the mix is on 0, you cannot hear the effect. And when it's on 100%, you hear all the distortion. So same thing as before, I press A, and this time I want to go on my distortion and to select the mix parameter. And now I want to increase the mix just at the end. So this way we're gonna hear the distortion at the end of the bass line, and it should give us a cool effect. Let's hear it in context. It could be used to bring a transition between two parts, for example. And as I said it earlier, I'm going to do the same thing on the piano track as well. What I did here is to put the mix on 0, so basically no distortion throughout the song, and I only have my distortion here to create this transition effect, and then I bring it down again. Let's hear it. Okay, that's a bit too drastic, so I can turn it down. This way it's more subtle and it's just a cool trick to have a nice transition. We can move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is delay or reverb automation, and I like to use them for breaks or for outros, for example. What I'm going to show you here is an automation delay for my outro on the piano. What I recommend to do is to create a new bus for your delay. Let's take number 18. Here you can change the name. And here on your bus you want to add the delay. I'm going with the delay designer, for example. Let's take this preset as an example, so quarter note on slow pan. We can't hear the delay yet, so we need to boost the volume here. Same thing, here I want to go on main and then change my send. And same principle, I can put the delay here, for example. So here, as we can see, we wouldn't hear any delay here. And then from here, the delay is going to be on. Great, I can do the exact same thing with the other piano. By the way, I can copy and paste an automation. I select my automation here, and then Command C. I go on the other track, and then Command V to paste it. Great, we can move on to the last tip, tip number 1. My tip number 1 is about cutoff automation, and this will give us this classic underwater type of sound. The first thing you want to double check is that you're on your stereo out track. Then you can click here and use the multi-effects remix effects. Here you have a few options, but the main thing I'm going to show you is this one. Let's see how you can actually automate that. As always, click the letter A, and here we're going to switch things up, and I'm going to change from a read to a latch automation. I can click play, and everything I'm going to do is going to be saved as an automation. Then be careful and don't forget to switch back to read mode. It's a very cool effect to use on your intro or your outro, or anytime you want to make a bridge. I'm going to do it in the outro as well, just to show you. I switch back to read mode, and I'm going to combine this with a volume automation. Now we should have a pretty sick outro. That's it for today. Thanks for watching it. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and maybe give me a suggestion for a new video. In the meantime, if you've learned something, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Show me some support, show me some love. As usual, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.